Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how to build this Supersafe combo lock here. I'm just pressing the 4 buttons I need to press, and then this lamp activates. You could also just put there a piston door, like in this gigantic version here. If I would activate it now, it takes too long, but I can just remove this redstone for now and replace it. It does the same as the other thing, and here a piston door activates, so you could also use it for that or something like that. And now I'm gonna show you how to build it. So first of all, you would need here a 10 wide. It's 10 wide here. This version with 8 buttons. You could also expand it very easily. So you need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks. So now you would need here some space for the reset button. Important, the reset button has to be a stone button. It's super important because otherwise it wouldn't work. I've tried it out. Really, you should use a button there. Now you have here this 4x4 space here for the button panel to type in the password. You could also just easily expand it. Over there, I just compacted so much. It's just a giant amount of effort, so it's really hard to build. And here would be the signal output. I'm just using a lamp as an indicator, but you could also not use the lamp and just put there a piston door somewhere. It's just to show where the signal goes. And now we would fill this in. Important, we can't place it on every block. Because otherwise you couldn't reset the system, so you would need it in this pattern. You would have to build it. Just fill in this here for decoration, that it looks better. And here a few blocks. And now we would have to put a button on every single one of those. It can be any button you want. And it's also a good thing if you put some other blocks for it, because behind every one of those blocks we now need a redstone torch. It's very important for activating it. Then we would need here 5 blocks here back, but only the 3 last ones we really need. A dropper on top of it, a comparator facing into it, and a repeater and a block for the version that you don't want to activate. And now we would need to take any item you want to, but only a single one. I'm just using wooden swords. You could also just use, it's very easy if you just have somewhere a mob farm, if you use the bows from the skeletons or something like that you really don't need. And now the next module I'm showing here is the version you have to activate. You also here need this a hopper pointing into the dropper. Then put any garbage into it. I'm just placing a block on top of the hopper that no item would come in there, because that would destroy everything. And now we would need here a comparator facing into it and a redstone torch behind it. It's very important to do it like this. So this would be the module for which you have to press, and the other one you aren't allowed. And you can just stack them here. So between those, you can just place them. But also another very important part, you have to place some observers between them. So here must be an observer that sees if this dropper over there got activated there. And if it gets activated, it activates the next one in the chain. So you could also very easily expand it. It's very good. And now you would have to place observers. And why is it not working? Placing observers always never works the way you want. So now and the next row would be easier maybe to start with the observers. It's 1 block to the side from it, so here would then be there would be the dropper, and here a few blocks. So you would have here 2 droppers facing to the front, 2 hoppers facing into them, And now you would need to get 2 more trash items and put them inside there. So now then you would have to do this and maybe put here a redstone torch for a password. And then I'm gonna show you it when it's finished. So now I have finished it. And if you want, you can also just expand it here to the side. You just have to repeat it here at the back. It's a bit confusing maybe, but it's just because it put in here some different things. But you can just repeat it, clone it over to the side or to the top, as it did over there. It's always the same here. Always the same module. At the front also. It's always the same module, except for if you the code what you want to type in. It's just super easy. And now we would have to build the reset. But now we would have to build the activation line. So what it will activate, because we need to somehow detect what we have activated and what we haven't activated. So for that we would now need some glass and redstone. And we would build here, and I'm gonna build here a pattern with redstone and glass in front of every one of those. And you see the redstone torches are already powering the redstone. And that's a good sign, because then it's working. If you have done everything correctly, it should be like this. So so you see here's the module, and then the redstone torch should be directly next to it, and the repeater is here a repeater, a block, and then the redstone dust, so it would activate if we press it. It's very important. And if you build it too large, even larger than the one over there, it's also very important at some point. The redstone from the corner that's the furthest away from the bottom there, that from the way you put the output, if that wouldn't activate it down there, you can just check it by removing every redstone torch here and placing a redstone torch just over here, just here at this block, so next to this block there. If you just place a redstone torch, you can see if it powers it or not. So you have to build it as this, and if it doesn't do it, you should just have to place here a block and a repeater on top, and then put a redstone line here that goes there. And if you build it even larger, you can just put a few repeaters in between there somewhere. So that's no problem at all. It only takes about a minute then, maybe, for the reset, because of those giant observer chains. And now we are going to continue with the reset mechanism. So we would need here a redstone on top of this block. I think it could be any block, and no, at the top we don't need one, but we would need here a glass block and there a glass block. Is very important, so that we can place the redstone on top of it. So if we would activate one of those, all the observers would activate. And now we could just, and now if you want to test if you have in every hopper an item inside, you will have to press every single one of those buttons. And then if you press the reset mechanism, you shouldn't hear a single sound, because those droppers only make a sound if they get activated. But the way I haven't connected it already, so you would have to place here a block and then a redstone torch on top. And if you now hear no sound at all, it's correct. And if you then destroy it, you should hear sounds from it clicking. So if it's like this, it's everything is working. And now we would need to have the reset mechanism. So we would need here behind this button a sticky piston and an observer facing into here. Place here just any a glass block or a slab, and a redstone there, so that if we activate the button, the observer goes up. It doesn't activate it because it activates only the air, and then if it goes down, then it activates all of the system. So now we have to get here the signal from it. So we would have here just any block, a repeater facing into a block, a redstone torch at this block, so now the redstone torch is deactivated. You could also now directly put it to this lamp there in a straight line, so this lamp isn't activated. And now if I would type in the password, what I just forgot. But you can just look at here. And now if I would press those 3 buttons, the lamp would activate. But it wouldn't reset, and we want it to automatically reset. So I just realized we would have to build this redstone line here a bit lower, because it has to be lower than this torch over there. It's very important. So if you have it like this one, from the panel where you have the first button in the lower row, 1 block next to the lamp, you would have to have something like this. But if you do it like the other version here, where the first button from there is 2 blocks away, you can just build it the line directly in a row. So that's the difference if you build it, but that doesn't really matter. So then you would need here a block for redstone and another one. Yeah, now you would need here a repeater on 4 ticks, a sticky piston with a block, next repeater on 1 tick, a block, 2 redstone, 2 comparators. Facing this way is just any full block, 2 more comparators. Then you would need here a repeater on 4 ticks, next repeater here on 4 ticks, then a block in front of there, and here you would also need a repeater on 4 ticks, so that the piston would be powered from this block there. So we have a bit of delay, and now it's just a clock here, but we can now attach here a torch, here a block in front of the torch, and another torch there, so the sticky piston would activate. And then when the signal stops, the sticky piston will deactivate, activate the reset line, and that's something wrong. Something with the timing is wrong here. Maybe that repeater has to be on 1 tick and that on 4. I think it should be like that. So that if we now type in the password, just those 3 buttons, it should activate. And we should see it any moment. Turning off, and yeah, it now works. Exactly the tick where this repeater turns off, the piston goes down. And now it's already working, so you could just place here some blocks below, because we need to go down a bit. It's not the most compact version, but it's very easy to build compared to other stuff, or the super compact version, because the super compact version is super hard to build because you nearly have no space to build, so it's really hard to build. It's just a pain to build it. So then you could go here, type in the password, and the lamp would activate. But yeah, and also now if you would press the reset button, it wouldn't do anything to it. You could only extend the signal that way. But if you would now type in a wrong button and then the correct password, it would never activate, because you have to activate the reset. Because you see, I have pressed, I think, this button over there. It's now in the wall there. But if you press a single wrong button, it's permanently powered there. So I could just demonstrate it with this one. So the comparator is on because in the dropper is the item, and then this repeater here would activate the block. And because you can't turn it off with pressing a button there, it would always be activated. For that, you have the reset button to reset it. And then you would hear the clicking noise, and then you could type in the password. And you see, it just worked. It's just super easy. And it's safe. You can't destroy it by pressing the buttons, because you have only the panel here to type it in, and there's a button. So even if you do this, you press the last button, and directly after it's the wrong one, the lamp would turn on. Yeah, and that's also a thing. The lamp would just turn on for a short moment. So output signal. And if you want to avoid that, you can just place here some redstone. Oh no, it should be here on top of the redstone. Oh no, yeah, at the side of it should be the redstone here. And then you could just place here some redstone, maybe then there a glass block instead of it. And then it would also now, if I type in the password here, 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 and here, it would deactivate for a short moment if you do it really quickly, but the lamp would still turn on after that. So make sure the piston door you have attached to is it. There are two options for that. You have a pulse extender somewhere, or you just have. So you need to have a pulse extender or just a piston door that can't break. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like this video, write a comment down below, or subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.